Again, my name is Ana Lucero. I am a Hispanic gal. Both of my parents were Mexican American, so it looks like I won the white privilege loteria. Some people might see the bluish greenish lines that crisscross underneath my translucent skin and think, ew, but I don't see veins. I see the roadmap to generational wealth. Um, oh, God. 2 weeks before quarantine started, just in the nick of time, my ex-boyfriend moved out. And then I was unemployed for 4 months. So I had lots of time to pick up some new hobbies, fun, cool things like wandering the halls and crying until dawn, getting the steps in, stalking his family on Facebook. They are doing fine without me, turns out. And of course, I really excelled at, despondently masturbating without the constraint of time, as long as I could go. I remembered this really weird fight my ex-boyfriend and I got into where he thought that I cheated on him with a comedian. And I was like, babe, I would never cheat on you with someone who thinks they're funnier than me. It's actually a really excellent time to be single in this hellscape that we live in because, I could now count on like the most reliable source of revenue there is in the world, perverts. Perverts are actually excellent because there's always going to be somebody whose interests align with like whatever weird thing you're willing to do for money. My thing would be eating nachos off my titties. All I would need is like a web camera and, I could just be like, ooh, does daddy like chips and cheese? Baby loves sour cream. Because, like, why not get paid for something I was going to do on Tuesday anyway? I've always kind of been like the kind of slutty, fun one of my friends, very sexually adventurous. In the early aughts, when I was in college, there was a very popular television show about four fashionable socialites. And anytime there were four women in a room together, we all had to go around and say which character we were. And I was always the slutty one. I was always Golden Girl Blanche Devereaux. Okay, guys, that is it for me. Please welcome to the camera a really fun guy. He used to host for the Bulls, and you can see him on Easy on Netflix. Please welcome to the camera, Marz Timms.
All right. So this is different for me, but I'm going to do this. Everything that I'm doing is brand new. So this is like back to school clothes, Easter Sunday outfits for me, all new. Because that's the only thing I ever got new. I mean, we were a poor family growing up, like bedsheet curtain poor. Yeah, that poor. And I'm not talking like Rachel Ray, like, all right, we're gonna do some arts and crafts where we make bed sheets in the curtains. No, this was bed sheet, window, staple gun, curtain type family. That's what we were. There is nothing that says you're poor like bed sheet curtains. That means you don't have shit. And we did not. I mean, we had the fitted sheets up there. We had the bedspreads. We had quilts. No duvet because that was too fancy for us. We didn't have any of that stuff. So that's how my family was rolling. I remember I'd be like, Mom, why do we have bed sheets up on the windows? And she'd be like, that's so that people can't see what we have, baby. And I'd be like, what are they gonna see? Delusions of grandeur? Because that's the only thing they see in this house. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's not like Marv and Harry from Home Alone would have stopped and mugged and robbed the McAllister's house if they had bedsheet curtains up. You're not driving around the neighborhood and it's like, wait a minute, what is that? Are those bedsheet curtains? Jackpot. No, you keep driving. That's the way that works. Hell, we even had bed sheet shower curtains. Bathroom was like a slip and slide after you got out the tub. And we never got mugged. We never got our house broken into until we got blinds. Because then people were like, oh, these niggas got blinds? Okay, they trying to front out here in the neighborhood. And I don't know if anyone of you have ever had your house broken into. I think the overriding feeling is probably anger, because you worked hard for something and then somebody broke into your house and took something that you worked hard for. I remember when our house got broken into, my dad was like furious. He's like outside, he's yelling at the cop that's like taking the police report. He's just like, he turned into like a Colombian drug lord. He's just like, I want you to find the person that did this. I want them dead. I want their wife dead. I want their family dead. And the cop's like, so they took a VCR and VHS cassettes of The Cosby Show? Easy, El Chapo. Yes, VHS of The Cosby Show, back when it was good to watch The Cosby Show. I was thinking about that today, and it was just like, we used to watch The Cosby Show like all the time. That was kind of part of my growing up. So a little bit, can I see where people with the Confederate flag are like, this is our heritage? Like when they're coming to like comedy clubs and take down all the Cosby posters, I'm like, don't take that down, that's my heritage. That's awful. They'll be in there. Who's gonna be voting to take this stuff down, dude? They're like, we're gonna take down these Cosbys, we're gonna take down all these Louis C.K.'s. People gonna be marching outside of comedy clubs. Don't take away our idols. That is awful. Hats off to the South, and mask on so they fucking suffocate. No, I'm joking. I have family in Arkansas, and someone on this from Arkansas as well. Helena, Arkansas. I remember I'd have to go down to visit family during the summer, and I'd always make sure I read a book first, because I was like, woo, gonna lose some IQ points once I get down there. Make sure I bone up on my reading. That is awful. So like everybody, we're all coronavirus out. I was debating whether I talk about it or not, because I'm sure everybody's talked about it. But I was like, how soon before rappers start, naming themselves coronavirus and putting all the coronavirus stuff in their songs? It's just like, I'm a killer like COVID-19. I'm a germ infection. You'll be dead in your dreams. It's just like, oh shit. I'm MC Corona. This is my crew, the pandemic. Yo, Fauci, kick that verse. Yeah. How soon? You gotta take everything. If it's about killing, rappers are on that. You don't put that in all sorts of, you be dead. Like Florida. I don't know. I'm not a rapper. I'm an entertainer. Well, I used to be. Now I'm a stay-at-home person, like a lot of people. I was also like, I think about a lot of like crazy stuff. I thought about the first time I swore was, I don't know when you guys like first time you like first said a bad word, but I remember mine. I was at my grandmother's house, and every night my grandmother went to bed. She had this old record player, and she'd like stack just like a ton of records on there. And this is like the old record player. I don't know everyone's ages, but it had like the little arm, and the arm would come out, and then a record would drop, click, and then the arm would come over and then it'd play one whole side, and it would come back off, click, and another record would drop, and then the arm would come back across. And I was like, I'd have to sleep in the living room with the record player. And my grandmother would be sound asleep in the other room as this gospel music was playing. And I'm just wide awake in the living room listening to all this gospel music. And I remember just at one time at night, I was just like, God damn! And that was first swear word I ever said was in my grandma's house. And I waited for lightning bolts. Lightning bolts never showed up. Yeah, that was the first time I swore. So I think that's all I was going to go into, except talk about I'm broke because live shows aren't going on. So I'm thinking about starting an OnlyFans page. And if you know anything about OnlyFans page, I see a laugh here. I know Greg is sitting there. He definitely knows about them. But adult actresses, strippers, and IG models have these OnlyFans pages where you can get a subscription and you can see the really nasty stuff. And I was like, if I'm a comic, how would I promote having this OnlyFans page? Because I'm cute, but I'm not like bare ass in a thong cute. It's just like, hey, you guys, I'll do all the setups to my jokes and like, hey, if you want to hear these punchlines, you got to subscribe to my OnlyFans page. Yeah, that's sad, but that's what I'm ending on. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much. That was so fun. OnlyFans, that's where I gotta go. Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
And cool. I know what the young people do. They go to OnlyFans. Got it. Noted. All right. So next up, we have our headliner at the open mic. She is my good friend. She is my roommate, and she came up with this idea. Please welcome to the screen, Sommer Austin.
Yay, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let's give it up for Anna and Marz. Oh my gosh. So good. So tight. Your material is so tight, both of you. I know it's new, Marz, but it's like, you know, it's like a vagina that hasn't yet birthed a child, like so fucking tight. Now I should let everybody know that this is the open mic portion of the evening where I'm just going to read random things I scrawled down when I was high on like a piece of paper or an envelope with like what's earlier today. Okay, so this is not going to be quite so tight. All right, so my first thing is that some people have a motto for their lives, right? Mine is a quote, and it is, "I'm furious about everything." All right. That's Joan Rivers said that, all right? And I think about it almost every day, and I meditate on it. And this morning, so furious, was I turned on the news, and I saw that now dead people, deceased individuals in Chicago are receiving unemployment. Did you see this? Dead people are receiving unemployment. And I can't even get unemployment. Do you know what I mean? I can't even get on the site. I'm like, somebody talk to, how are these ghosts able to get past that frozen JavaScript right at the login? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, get a Ouija board. I need to talk to these fucking ghosts, you know? So being broke as Marz was, and also Marz, I do think you should just show your dick on your OnlyFans. Why not? I'm seeing other comedians do it, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's picky these days. I'll show these. I mean, I'm a little, do you know what I mean, long in the tooth, but I'll do it, you know what I mean? I should have done it 20 years ago, but I'll do it. But being poor and being in a big city like Chicago is sort of like being like a pedophile in a daycare center. Do you know what I mean? It's like you see everything you want, but you cannot have, right? You can look, but you cannot touch. I mean, you could just like take what you want, but you'd be in hot water, mister, if you did that. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't blame these so there's a lot of mothers running with baby carriages in my neighborhood who are not wearing masks. And you know what? I don't blame them. Do you know what I mean? Because if I had children during this pandemic, I'd be like, breathe on me. I'm going to cough on them. Do you know? I'm going to cough on them. Because I don't know how anybody does it. I don't know if there are mothers here. I know, Marz, you're a dad. I don't know how anybody does it with children. I don't like children because my husband left me for one. Well, I mean, okay, so she was 25. I mean, it's close. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a child. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of like one. So I guess I have a thing against children. I also have a thing against 25-year-olds, right? And Anna and I both have a couple 25-year-old roommates. They're lovely people, but one the other day asked me in the kitchen, said, "Is it hard to meet other people your age?" And I was like, what? Because I don't think you know what I mean? I feel like I'm young, do you know what I mean? But like then a question like that is thrown at me and I'm like, what do you think? Like, what does a 25-year-old think of me, right? And I'm like, and then he said, "Do you want to meet my parents?" And I'm like, what is this, the Indian matchmaker for like parents and like friends? Like, I don't, you know, do I look like I need parent friends? Like, I don't, Do you know? And I'm like, of course I don't want to meet your fucking parents. Like, I know exactly what your parents are. Like, your parents are me. Do you know what I mean? Like, the only thing that could have produced this ball of anxiety is a Gen Xer full of anxiety and trauma, right? And just put it all on them. I know exactly what your parents are going to be like. Do not need that in my life. But I think like one of the only reasons, so we're bringing it back to this OnlyFans page, like the only reason like a single person now that I am, at having friends that are a couple would only be for like sex stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was married for 17 years. I don't do sex. I don't know about sex stuff, but I'm like assuming like that's the only reason like you would have like a couple that's a friend, right? They like think you're in, I don't know. Maybe I can get my OnlyFans page up. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not against it at this point. So really quickly, speaking of 25-year-olds, I just want to continue. I know a few of them, but I just want to say that, so speaking of the logic of a 25-year-old, my husband left me for the woman who gave me this as a gift. I don't know if you can see that. That is a Yoga Kittens mini calendar. Okay, so that's exhibit 1. Okay, and then and then I'm around them a lot because I teach acting. So I teach like very young, like college kids. And I had a 20-something-year-old say to me, she said, have you ever done anything great? And I was like, well, like, you know, like this whole semester that we had, and like I taught you all those things, and like we had like moments and stuff, like, isn't that great? I guess it wasn't great enough for her. And then I had another student who said, Summer, when I become a famous basketball player, I'm going to donate to your theater company because I don't want to forget the little people. He said, honest to God. And I was like, cool, thanks. I don't know. But he didn't even play basketball. Do you know what I mean? Like, never in his life. I don't know if I said baseball or basketball. It was basketball, and he never played it. He wasn't a player. So I like love the logic that's going on in the 25-year-old brain that's like, I can steal and fix your husband. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so good. Okay, I'll leave you with this. Yeah, okay, so well, it's really hot right now. It's like 80 degrees in my room right now because I turn off my air conditioning. And sometimes it's so hot that, like, I don't want to eat. I know how that sounds. Oh, it's so hot, I don't want to eat. Do you know what I mean? It's like horrible, right? But it is quarantine, and I am gaining some weight. And Eliza Schlesinger has this joke about, like, how you just want to be so thin that your friends are concerned for you. I know. She's a very funny stand-up comedian. And so I didn't really get that until recently. I had somebody who told me that they were concerned for me. They were like, Summer, we didn't want to tell you this, but in 2008, we were concerned for you. And I'm like, bitch, why didn't you tell me then? Do you know what I mean? Why didn't you tell me then? Because now, like, when I could have appreciated that. Do you know what I mean? Because now it's like, it's never going to happen again. No one's ever going to be concerned for me again. I passed the everything slows down. I was like, God damn it. I really wish that I knew that information then, and I could have enjoyed it. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here. Yay! My time. Now, thank you. Let's give it up for Anna and Marz again. And if you would be so kind to type your Venmo into our chat, everybody. And listen, if you had a laugh or something and you want to tip them, go right ahead. Not for me, just for them. So go ahead and put that in the chat for everybody. And let's just go ahead and plug some stuff. So Anna, do you have anything you want to plug coming up?
Yes, I am doing a show called Las Locas this weekend, Saturday at 8 p.m. So I'm going to have that on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So I think it's going to be another Zoom show. But yeah, I'll plug that on the internet under my name.
Awesome. Marz, do you have anything you want to plug?
I have a couple of shows coming up in August. One's at a casino in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. So it's a nice, big, socially distanced. So that's later this month. It's all on my website, marztims.com. I also have a show that's supposed to be in a club in Minnesota, Goonies, also in August, but I don't know if that's going to happen with all these cases going up and all that other stuff. So, but safe shows online. There is Wisecracking this Friday at 8 o'clock. And then please follow me on Instagram at MarzTims. I always post these funny little videos about walking and talking, and people seem to like them.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, MarzTims, Marz with a Z.
Yes, they're very great. They're good videos, and we're going to be on Wisecracking together, I think, this Friday. So yes, awesome. And I have a show tomorrow night at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, California, but it is virtual at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 p.m. here. And yeah, and you can find all that information on all my social medias and things like that. So yeah, only $10, and they're doing great stuff. They're hosting a lot of free events for comics, so it's going for a good cause and great people. Like, it's going to a good company, and there's like a lot of good comics from all over the country and the world on this show. So all right, everyone, thank you so much for your support. We cannot do this without you, so thank you. We need you. We need you. Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Candace. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
Good seeing you guys.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you
Very
guys.
funny.
Thanks, Greg.
Bye.
Bye.